Now we will discuss about chapter 2. Your topic is land, soil and waters. We have already completed chapter 1 resources. So now we will discuss about these chapters. Okay, land, soil and water. This one. Okay. Okay. In this chapter we will learn about the importance of land, soils and water in our life, daily life. So we all know that Earth consists of land and water, continental and the oceans. Okay, so 30% it covers 30% of land and water 70%, 70. Underline, it is given here, so underline. Okay, you can get here also. Now the most important thing that we are going to discuss is land use pattern. Okay, land use pattern. Land is the most important natural resources of mankind. It can be put to a variety of uses. So we use land in different forms. Okay, so we have a different sense of land use pattern. Okay, in our country especially. So land we use for agriculture, for building factories, houses, making roads, airports, layering of railway tracks, etc. So we use land in various forms in different ways. Okay, so our land use pattern is also divided in these manners only. We have a different land use patterns in India. Now there are several factors which determine the land use pattern. So number one, that is soil. Okay, soil. Number two, topography. Number three, minerals. Number four, availability of water. Availability of water. Okay, so our land use pattern that determines land patterns. Okay, land use pattern that determines by these factors: soil, topography, minerals and availability of water. Okay, now land is divided into two different types. Okay, land is divided into two different types: private and the community. Now what are private lands? Private lands that is mainly owned by the individuals, owned by a single persons, individuals only. That is called the private land. Okay, example, kitchen garden in your house. Yes, plot is a sole property of ours only, that belongs to us only. So these are the private land. So private lands is land owned by individuals. Okay. Next one is community. So community land is owned by the community, not by a single person or any individuals. Community, it is a land owned by the community. Okay. For example, shopping malls. Yes, shopping malls, that medical centers. These are the community land. So land basically divided into two types: private and the community. Private land is owned by an individual and community is owned by the community, not by any individuals. Okay, any community halls, centers, shopping malls, these are the examples of the communities. Now changes in land use. With the passage of time, the change in these land use patterns also change, not only in India, throughout the world. Okay. For example, to change in land use, to build commercial areas like market, to build the commercial areas also, we change our land use patterns. Yes. To expand the agricultural areas also, to build industries also, residential housing complexes also, roads, dam also, we ourselves have changed our land use patterns. Okay. Another important factors that causes the changes in the land use pattern is landslide, natural calamities. Okay, landslide, because it is a natural calamity, geological phenomenon wherein huge chunks of topsoils of the earth slide down. So it erodes the topmost layers. Okay, so erosions occurs during landslide. This also affect our land use pattern. Erosions, natural causes erosions, groundwater pressures, loss or absence of vertical vegetative structures, weakening of slopes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, earthquakes. All these are the natural calamities which often change or affects our land use patterns. And apart from that natural calamities, even humans sometimes they affect or they change the land use patterns by constructing so many buildings, malls, deforestations, cultivations. So even the man, not only natural calamities, even the human themselves can change the land use patterns. Now preventions. Landslides can be prevented by ensuring proper soil testing. So we can prevent such natural calamities by checking. Yes, and landslide mainly we can check by the soil testing. So we can conserve the land also by afforesting, means planting the trees, control on overgrazing, stabilizing especially the sand dunes by growing thorny bushes. So we can plant even in the desert areas. Yes, we can plant, for example, the thorny bushes, the cactus. These are the plants which can grow in the desert areas. So to stop or to conserve the land or to stop erosion, especially in the desert areas also, we can grow the types of vegetation, the xerophytic plant we can grow over there. Next topic is your soil. Okay, this is important topic, soil. Now what are soils? Soil is an important natural resource. Soil is also a natural resource which is essential for all the living organisms. It forms the topmost layer. Soil is the topmost layers of the earth crust. It is the topmost layer. Okay, topmost layer of the crust. We have studied about lithosphere. Yes, so soil, this land, that also includes the lithosphere, that comes under the lithosphere. There are some factors which help in soil formations. For example, climate. Yes. Next, that is parent rock, means igneous rock. Rock also helps to form the soils. That pieces of rock during rock cycles helps to form the soils. Okay. Topography, definitely the topography means the geographical features, right? The relief, that also helps organic matters. Time taken, these are some of the factors which helps in the soil formations. Now another important is layers of the earth. So this is very important. You have to draw this, okay, in your exercise. Okay, and the layers of the structures of the layers of the earth, soil. This also you have to draw. Okay, so first, okay, start from your bedrock layers. The bottom one, bedrock. Then withered rock fragments here, subsoils you can see here, topsoil, and the last one or the uppermost, that is the humus, the nutrient part. Okay. So topsoil, that is the uppermost layers, which is very rich in humus. Humus means is the remains of decaying plants and animals, which are the nutrients for the plants. So topsoil, that is the uppermost soil, consists of very rich nutrient, that is called humus. Next on subsoil, the next layers, that is the subsoil, which is harder, little bit harder and compact and has less amount of humus. Okay. Even in the subsoil layers, subsoil level and layers, we can get humus, but in a very less amount. Weathered rock, it consists of small pieces of rock fragmentations. Okay, the broken pieces of small rock, that is the weathered rock layers. Unweathered parent rocks, below the weathered rock is another layers, that is called the unweathered rocks. Okay, it is here. The first one, very rich in nutrients. The first one, very rich in nutrients. Then topsoils, subsoils. Yes, till here, till this line, we can get humus, that nutrients, organic matters. Yes, but in a less amount. Okay. Then after that, the fragmented rock base, we get Then after that, the last one, that is the bedrock, which consists of the hard parent rock like nucleus rock only. Now the types of soils. There are different types of soils found in India. Number one is alluvial soil. Okay. Types of soil. Okay, so number one is alluvial soil. So alluvial soil, these soils are very fertile. Alluvial soils are very fertile soils. Okay, consists mainly of the alluviums only. So these are the clayey soil composed of clay also, silt also, right, and sand also, which are very important for the cultivations, which favors the cultivations. So alluvial soils are the fertile soil. Next one is black soil. Okay, black soil. Black soil is also known as regor soil. Okay, remember it, or you can write. Okay, black soil, that is blackish in color. Okay, wet type of rock, and this is basically found in the southern part of India. Okay, mainly black soils are found in the southern part, like Maharashtra, Karnataka, yes, where we can easily find the coffee, cotton cultivations. Okay, so black soil, that is also known as the regor soil. Next one is red soil. Okay, red soil. Red soil, which is reddish in color. Okay, so red soil is reddish in color due to high iron content. So red soil contains high amount of iron. So because of the presence of iron, this type of soil looks red in color. Okay. Next one, that is the laterite soil. Next one is laterite soil. Okay, laterite soil. Okay, so laterite soil is less fertile in comparison with the other trees. Okay, so red soil, that is red in color. Okay, because of the presence of iron. So this type of soil is called red soil due to the presence of the high amount of iron. Next one, that is the laterite soil, that is less fertile in comparison with these three soils, that alluvial soils, black soils and red soils. And the next one, that is the desert soil. Okay, desert soil. Desert soils, from the term only we can define that desert soils are mainly found in the desert areas. It is sand, like composed mainly of the sand. The desert soil is found in desert, so it is consists mainly of the sand. Okay, and it is found in the Rajasthan, the Thar areas, the dry areas. And the last one, that is the mountain soil. That is the mountain soil. Okay, so mountain soils are found in the hilly areas, the mountainous belt. It is brown in color. It has a very good amount of humus. Mountain soil is also fertile for some cultivations only. It is rich in humus. Okay, and it is brown in color. So it is mainly found in the mountainous areas like Jammu Kashmir. Okay, so there are 6 different types of soils: alluvial soils, black soils, which is also known as regor soils, red soils, high amount of iron content, laterite soil, less fertile, desert soils found in the desert areas, yes, and the mountain soils, that is also rich in humus, found mainly in the mountainous areas like Jammu and Kashmir. So these are the types of soil. These are the factors for the formations of the soils, and these are the types of soils. Now the degradations of soil. Soil erosion. What is soil erosion? Okay, soil erosion means the removal of the topmost layers of the soils, the humus. Okay, so it means, or the soil erosion means the removal of the top soils from the land due to natural causes like floods, yes, landslide, etc. To taken away the topmost soil, the humus, from its original place, that is the soil erosions. So this can be done by the human also as well as nature also. Causes of soil erosion is given, 2 points given in your book: by natural agent like water, wind, sometimes water, wind, landslide, yes. Because of these factors, soil erosions may occur. Another, by the improper tilling of the land, that also causes the soil erosion that is made by the human themselves. Okay. Now there are some methods to conserve the soil erosions. Number one, afforestation, that we all know. If we plant trees, then we can definitely conserve our soil. Mulching is very important. It is a bare ground between the plants is covered with drought-resistant grass. Once the grass or vegetation is covered the soil, it checks for the soil erosions. So sometimes in the areas, in the vegetative areas, okay, because of these natural calamities only, the ground becomes bare only. Yes, so we have to check the amount of humus. We have to check the fertility of the soils regularly in such areas. That is the mulchings. Another, contour barriers. You know the contour barriers. Especially we will see in the plains areas during rice cultivations. So, they make the contours, they make the boundaries, especially by using stones, grass, yes, the stem of grass and other plantations as a barrier, and they reduce the flow of water in that particular areas. That type of cultivations, that type of system we mainly found in the plains areas. Rock dams, that is another way to conserve soils. We can make the rock dams, we can make the dams by rocks itself, okay, huge rocks that are piled up, yes, in off-field regions, and we can protect the waters over there by constructing such type of rocks. Another is terrace farming. Terrace farming is most famous farming that is found in the hilly areas. Okay, it's like a stairs. So in hilly areas, steps are built onto the side of the mountains to do the farming. So stepwise farming, that is the terrace farming. By applying or by practicing that terrace farming also, we can conserve the soil. And intensive crop rotation. Crop rotation is another way. Sometimes, always is not, for example, rice cultivation sometimes also hamper the fertility of the soil. Wheat also hampers it affects the fertility of soil. So we have to check. Crop rotation should be there. Okay. So time to time we have to change the cultivation process also. So by using such process, we can definitely set or to preserve our soils. Contour ploughing, another one, and shelter beds, these are another way. Shelter beds, especially we can see in the dry areas, arid regions, okay, desert areas. Wind blows away from the top layer soils, fertile soils. If a row of the trees are planted, they check the wind movements. So to check the wind movements, especially in the dry regions, the farmers, the cultivators, they plant the trees in a row way, okay, in a similar way, either horizontally or vertically in a line, okay, and that is known as the shelter. That also check the movement of the wind, the speed of the wind, and it protects the soil erosions. Yes, it protects to remove the fertility of the soils. That is the soil. And our last topic is water. We all know water is the most important factors for that influence the life of humans, not only the humans, even the plants and animals. So 70%. There are few basic reasons for the shortage of waters. Number one, increase in populations. Yes, increase in population is a major factor for the shortage of water nowadays, because it demands, increase in population definitely demands the high amount of waters, especially in the industries, even for our domestic purposes. Next one, large amount of groundwater can be used by human beings. So we can use the groundwaters by filtration process, but that also nowadays it's polluted. Okay, so we can't use the groundwaters. River lakes are contaminated, yes, due to the discharge of untreated waste from the medicals, from the industries. So we carelessly, we the people carelessly use that water. If we use that, then definitely it will affect our health soil only. So we can't use the groundwaters nowadays. And even the unequal rainfall, that is another important factors for the shortage of waters. Mainly in India, we have to totally depend on rainy seasons, especially the monsoon seasons, for the conservations or for the consumptions of the waters. Yes, but even in India nowadays, rainfalls or the monsoon seasons are unevenly distributions of rainfall. So because of these regions, there are few basic shortage of the waters. Now the conservation and management system of waters. We can conserve waters by following these few methods. Number one, recycling of used water. We can recycle the used water. So that we often do. Yes, that we often practice at our home also. Wastage waters can be reduced by recycling the used waters with the help of technology. We can reuse the waters. Rainwater harvesting. This is the most important suitable strategy adopted by the government of India nowadays. Okay, and under this rain harvesting methods, what was the main actually concept of that rainwater harvesting? We can make an underground dam and we can conserve the waters, that overflowed waters, especially during the rainy seasons, and we can use that waters later. So in this method, rainwater is stored and by making a huge groundwater tank, and from this water is used and when required. Okay. Next, afforestation. Yes, definitely planting of trees, which also help to conserve waters. Proper irrigation system is another way to conserve the water. Irrigation system means it's an artificial way of supplying water to the field. So by using it in a very proper way, also we can conserve water. And the last point, that is the proper utilization of water for domestic purposes. As I told you earlier also, yes, we waste water in various ways even at our home. So we can check the leakage of the pipes. Yes, we can use a bucket of water instead to wash anything like cars, yes, our vehicles, instead of using a pipe. So we can conserve water. So we can follow the methods from our home only. So these are few important method strategy we must adopt to conserve the water, as it is the most essential element for our survival. Okay, let's do the exercises. The first one, that is choose the correct options. Okay, number one, the answer is 2, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 2, 6, 1, 7, 3, 8, 4. Number B, that is fill in the blanks. Number 1 is private. Number 2, landslides. Number 3, soil erosion. Number 4, plants. Number 5, thickness. Number 6, humus. Number 7, laterite. Number 8, black. Number 9, water. Number 10, legumes. Number 11, highly saline. And number 12, water. Okay, number C, match the column. Okay, 1 with 3, match column A, 1 with 3, 2 with 1, 3 with 2, 4 with 7, 5 with 5, 6 with 4, 7 with 8, and 8 with 6. Now question number D, state whether true or false. So number 1 is true, number B false, number 3 false, number 4 false, number 5 false, 6 false, 7 false, 8 again false, 9 true, 10 true, 11 true, 12 false. Now the question number E, short questions. Okay. List the factors or the reasons for the uneven distributions of populations. So number 1, steep slopes of the mountains, rugged topography. So these are the soil is also the another factors. Yes, availability of waters. You can write any point over here. Okay, availability of water. Okay, so these are the reasons for the uneven distributions of populations. Number 2, on what basis is land divided? Land is divided on the basis of who owns the land, that is ownership. Number 3, list the factors which determine the land use. The use of land is determined by various factors like soil, climate, topography. topography, etc. Number 4, what is landslide? So landslide is a geological phenomenon wherein huge chunks of soil of the earth slide down. Next, number 5, list the natural causes of landslide. Natural causes. Number 1, erosion of the toe means base of the slope by river or ocean waves. Number B, groundwater pressure acting to destabilize, okay, acting to destabilize the slope. Question number 6, okay, write down the 3 effects of landslide. It causes severe damage to life and property. It disrupts power and transmission and even telecommunication system. 7, name 4 layers, the different layers of the soil: topsoil, subsoils, weather-rocked and unweathered parent rocks. Question number 8, what is soil erosion? Soil erosion means the removal of topsoil, okay, the humus one, nutrients, topsoil from land due to natural cause and even by human activities. Number 9, what is terrace farming? So terrace farming, especially it is practiced in hilly areas. So in hilly areas, steps are built onto the slide of a hill or mountain to do the farming. So on each step, crops are planted. So this type of farmings are called terrace farmings. Explained mulching. Okay, in this method, bare ground between the plants is covered with drought-resistant grasses to avoid drought. Once the grasses cover the soil, it checks further soil erosions. Next question is, how do rock dams help in checking soil erosions? Huge rocks are piled up in the off-field regions. The rocks slow down the flow of water and reduce the soil loss. Number 12, what is rainwater harvesting? So it's a very efficient and effective ways to conserve water, especially in the country like India. Okay, in this method, rainwater is stored in specially made use underground tanks and form this water use as and when required. Okay, these are the short questions. Now the long questions. Question number 1. Why has land use undergone a change over a period of time? Explain. With the discovery of agriculture, they started minimizing the land. Started minimizing the land, and with the advancement in science, humans have altered the land to fulfill the increasing demands of the ever-growing populations. In urban areas, land has been used for recreational activities. Forests have been cut to increase the agricultural land to feed the populations. The use of fertilizers hasn't led to the degradations of land. Okay, number 2 question. So there's some methods by which we can conserve. Okay. So afforestation, that is by planting of trees. Control of overgrazings by creating more pastoral lands. Okay. Number 3, controlling mining activities by using technologies. Number 3, how is soil formed, and write in detail about the factors that affect the formation of soil. So soil is formed by the interactions of physical factors. Physical factors means like weathering of rocks, effect of rains, water, etc. Water, wind, etc. These are the weathering factors or the natural elements. Okay. There are some factors which affect the formation of soils. So you can write parent, rock, relief. Okay. So it is given in your books. It is given. Okay. So we have discussed relief. The features of that particular area is one of the important reasons. You can write from there. Okay. So, and after writing the answers, you have to draw the pictures. This one. Okay. Page number 135. Okay. This one. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors given here. Yes. So you can write any 2 or 3. Okay. Anyone. So I'm discussing here about relief and parent. So relief, the features, okay, the area, the geographical boundary, that also helps the formation of the soil. Yes, dry regions. Yes, we have discussed in the types of soil. soils, yes. So dry region, definitely the desert type of soils that consist of especially sand, that type of soil form. So these are the factors, okay. And parent rock, okay, the igneous rock, the form of igneous rock, hard rock. If the area is consist of igneous rock, if the area composed of igneous rock, hard rock, definitely we will get a very good fertile soils over there, alluvial types of soil. So these are some of the important factors that affect the formations of the soils, okay. And you can write the others also from here, okay. In your own language you can write. You can give the examples of climate also, time taken also, okay, topography also, parent rock also. Okay, now question number 4, okay. Question number 4, that is write about the different types of soil found in different parts of India. So there are different types of soils we have discussed earlier in these chapters. Alluvial soil, which are very fertile soil, these are found mainly in the northern plains, okay, northern plains areas and delta plains. So this is the reasons why these two areas are densely populated, because these soils favors cultivation. These soils are suitable for the cultivation. So that's why people prefer to live in these northern plains and deltaic areas. For example, Ganga Brahmaputra deltas, okay, these are the densely populated areas. Black soil, that is blackish in color, it is sticky and wet, found mainly in the peninsula, means the southern part of India. Red soil, that is reddish in color due to high content of iron. Next one, laterite soil, that is less fertile in comparison with this alluvial black and red soil, that is brown in color and found in the western Ghat area, that Nilgiri hills areas, okay. And the next one, that is the desert soils. So definitely desert soils are found in the dry areas, arid regions, okay, like Rajasthan, Gujarat, especially these areas, okay. And this soil is porous and quails, okay. And the last type of soil, that is the mountain soil, that is also fertile, but that is not so rich in humus. Yes, definitely it is rich in humus, but in comparison with the alluvial soil, it is less humus content soil, okay. And it is mainly found in the hilly areas like Jammu and Kashmir. Explain the causes of soil erosion. Number 5, okay. Natural agents remove the topsoil and cause soil erosion. Human activities like cutting up trees, grazing, remove the plant cover, improper tilling also leads to soil erosion. Farmers also use too much of insecticides, pesticides, yes, that will affect the fertility of the soil. Question number 6, give reasons for the shortage of water. Increase in population has led to the increase in demand of water. Number 2, rivers and lakes are contaminated due to discharge of interrelated and especially the sewage, that industrial waste, that is also another reason. And unequal rainfalls and precipitations in different seasons and different parts of the world. So these are few reasons for the shortage of water. And the last one, explain any 3 methods by which water can be conserved. Okay. First one, forest help to improve water economy by reducing runoff water and risks of floods. Forests and vegetations bind the soils. It also helps in relations of water in the soils. Number 2 point, waste water can be reduced by recycling it. Okay, effluents in water should be treated before they are drained into the river. And the last one, yes, definitely it is rainwater harvesting. So in this method, rainwater, we can store water, especially made used underground tank, and from this water is used as and when required. So you can check the answers and you can write the answers by your own also, okay? But the subject matters, that should be the same, and you can check the answers from our school website also.